You're listening to Mary Farfisa.
What song does a star sing when it's all by itself? What sound does a comet make when it's flying around? And did you know that the sun enjoys playing the drums? And did you know that the moon has a favorite tune? Well, you might think that outer space is a quiet place, but there's a melody in all that astronomy. Well, I roam through galaxies looking for sounds that interest me. There's too many to mention if I just pay attention. Songs and sounds, music and noise can be as much fun as a box full of toys. Songs and sounds, music and noise, I'll catch them all with my lasso and bring them to you. I'm Mary Farfisa.
Look below, Mary. We're flying over the planet Bubbleopola.
Is that the music school down there? The one we've come to visit?
Yes, the Bubbleopola Music School for Children. It's a very interesting music school, Mary, because all of the teachers there are musical instruments.
Musical instruments? That are alive, you mean? Like the ones at the Astor Rodeo?
Well, yes, but the musical instruments at the Astor Rodeo couldn't talk. These ones can. They'll talk your ear off, especially if the topic is music.
That's amazing!
Yes, I'd never heard of beings like them before the chief listener gave us this assignment.
And Chartreuse Pinkley, the famous Bazorbabillion bassoon player, went to this school?
It's where she started her study of music, Mary.
And the chief listener wants me to capture her first recital in my audio lasso.
That's right.
So the rest of the universe can hear how she started her amazing career.
If that recital is still bouncing around the old auditorium of the music school, you're the one who can catch it.
Like the time we were hired to round up that concert that Skunk Mustache did before they were famous.
Exactly.
Hey, Briscoe, did you know that Jane Syrah likes Skunk Mustache? She's a skunky.
She certainly is.
Ha ha.
Mary, how do you know what kind of music Jane Syrah likes?
She must have, mentioned it sometime, maybe on Moxo Boxo.
Maybe. Oh, look, there's the music school now, right below us. Let's land.
I hear piano music, Briscoe. It's pretty, isn't it?
It's one of Lederhosen's old sonatas. Yes, it's very nice. Let's go inside and find Mr. Piano. He's the principal of the music school.
We heard piano music when we were landing, Mr. Piano. Was that you?
Oh, no. That was Steinway, the school piano. He's grand. No, I'm afraid that while I'm indeed a piano, I cannot be played by myself or anyone else.
Why is that?
Well, you see, I'm very ticklish. If someone tries to tickle my ivories, it sends me through the roof.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
What a shame.
Not at all, Mary Farfisa. I still play quite a part in the world of music. You see, I just don't care for performing music, but I love composing it.
You're a composer?
Yes. I think up the music and write it down. Then I give the music to our students or to Steinway to perform. This is as it should be. In music, as in life, we all have different strengths.
I see.
I wouldn't give up working out all this music in my head for anything, and it doesn't send me into fits of laughter the way it would if someone tried, heavens forbid, to play my compositions on me. Now then, would you like to meet some of our other faculty before you go to work?
Oh, yes, please.
Follow me. Mr. Drum's classroom is just down the hall. Oh, dear.
I don't want to go to jail.
Jail?
All the children are running out of Mr. Drum's classroom, crying.
Yes, well, I'm certain it was nothing that Mr. Drum said or did.
But what could have made those kids so upset?
Well, unfortunately, you and Mary Farfisa are not the only ones visiting our school today. Inspector Strict from the planet Stuffshirtka is here. He's the chief inspector of the Music Police.
The music police?
Yes. On Stuffshirtka, music is controlled by the government. They have very extreme ideas about music. The music police have absolute control over all the music on their planet. They control how the music is written, learned, practiced, and performed.
I've heard a lot about the music police of Stuffshirtka, and none of it is good. They've banned any music that the music police find unacceptable. They destroy all the written and recorded music that they don't approve of. It's like Fahrenheit Do-Re-Mi there.
Oh, that's terrible. How can people enjoy music like that? How can the people there be creative or curious about music if the music police control everything about it?
They can't, if you ask me.
But why are the music police from Stuffshirtka here on Bubbleopala?
Stuffshirtka is trying to put their music police in charge of all the music in this galaxy. Their inspectors are visiting each and every planet in it to convert them to their way of thinking. That's why Inspector Strict is here.
Why would the people here put the music police in charge? Why would they even consider making such a crazy decision?
Stranger things have happened, Mary.
Excuse me, I just want to make a call to one of the other teachers. Miss Flute, it's Mr. Piano. We have some upset students heading for the cafeteria. Would you mind meeting them there and doing what you can to calm them down? Yes, I'm sure it was Inspector Strict that upset them. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Miss Flute. I counted 77 music crimes in that lesson, Mr. Drum. 49 misdemeanors and 28 felonies. Some of these students should be doing hard time. They're born criminals, and I'm not sorry for telling them so.
Felonies? Hard time?
They're only 5 poppy diddles old.
Briscoe, look at that man in the classroom talking to Mr. Drum. He's scary. Those dark glasses and that uniform and that badge and the rude, threatening way he's talking to Mr. Drum, well, that must be Inspector Strict.
Yes, and Mr. Drum, who really is a drum, looks like he's scared and very upset.
And who's that nasty little person standing next to Inspector Strict? He looks like a gnome. He's really little, and he has a long white beard and a tall cone-shaped hat. But he's dressed in a uniform, and he's wearing dark glasses, just like Inspector Strict.
He'd be right at home on the front lawn of some very authoritarian institution.
That's Inspector Strict's henchman. He's a metronome. They've seen us. They're coming this way. Inspector Strict, visiting our music school is all very fine, but I must insist that you do not frighten the children. What's frightening is the number of music crimes you allow and even encourage in your classrooms, Mr. Piano. 49 misdemeanors and 28 felonies. Whatever crimes you're referring to are not crimes at all on this planet, Inspector Strict. The music police are not in control here. Not yet, Mr. Piano.
Good gravy, Mary. Look, the gnome has a metronome on his pointy cone-shaped hat, ticking away, back and forth, back and forth.
It looks silly.
That's an official music police metronome uniform you're sniggering at, young lady. You'd be wise to respect it. Our metronomes can detect even the slightest rhythmic violations, and they can make one pay dearly for committing them. I'll need your name and your business at this school. Mary Farfisa is a guest here. She is a very talented audio wrangler. She can capture vanished sounds from long ago with her audio lasso. Audio wrangling is illegal on Stuff Shirtica.
We're not on Stuff Shirtica.
Mary is here to catch Chartreuse Pinkley's first recital, which was performed in our own auditorium when Miss Pinkley was a student. We banned Chartreuse Pinkley's music on Stuff Shirtica ages ago.
You banned Chartreuse Pinkley? But she's the finest Bazorbabillion bassoonist to ever!
Let's all try to get along, shall we? Inspector Strict, why don't I escort you to the next classroom? Perhaps the next class will improve your opinion of us. We have wonderful teachers here and wonderful students. I'll be the judge of that. And Mary, why don't you and Briscoe introduce yourselves to Mr. Drum? He looks like he could use some friendly conversation right about now.
Oh, okay. Hi, Mr. Drum. I'm Mary Farfisa, and this is Briscoe.
Hello.
Are you the school's drum teacher? Did the metronome detect minute errors in your toddler's timing?
That nasty little creature. But no, I don't teach drums, and I don't let myself be paid as one either.
Why not?
I can't bear the idea of being hit.
But you're a drum.
Yes, I know. And most drums love being hit, and struck, and pounded. But it's just too much for me. I can't take it. Would you like it if someone hit you all the time?
No, but...
My cousin is the bass drum in a rock band called Skunk Mustache, and he loves it.
Their drummer, Grief Moon, is an absolute madman.
I know. He beats on my cousin like crazy. And my cousin, the bass drum, loves it. And all the Skunk Mustache fans love it. They find all that banging and booming and crashing exciting. But I'm a quiet, peaceful soul. I can't imagine being walloped like that, concert after concert.
So, what do you teach?
I teach voice. It's my privilege to teach young people to sing.
Oh!
I teach my students to sing beautiful melodies and lovely harmonies, too. Most drums have no use for harmony, but I think it's wonderful.
I agree.
Inspector Strict, on the other hand, has this insane notion that there are a few legal and a lot of illegal harmonies. He believes that performance of illegal harmonies erodes the moral fabric of society and leads to the downfall of civilization.
Oh, no drama there.
If you'd like to meet our drumming instructor, she's 2 rooms down on the left. I'm sorry. I'm too upset to talk anymore.
We understand. Poor Mr. Drum. Hey, look, Briscoe. Up ahead. It's Inspector Strict and his metronome.
And they're talking to a little silver flute. A flute with wiry arms and legs. That must be...
Miss Flute.
Miss Flute, Your students are lucky they're not on stuffed shirtica. My metronome counted hundreds of student mistakes in the first few minutes of your class. Their playing is criminal. If a music student on stuffed shirtica made that many mistakes during a class, they would be barred from ever studying music again.
That's ridiculous. How can anyone learn to play a musical instrument without making mistakes?
We allow a certain amount of offenses in the early stages, but not too many. There's a limit to how much a decent society can take.
I don't know how anyone could study music on your planet, or why they would want to.
If a child wants to become a musician on stuffed shirtica, they must do it in the proper way. They must enlist in the music force and serve a 10-poppy-diddle sentence in a music camp. And if they make it through that, they may apply for a permit to play a musical instrument without government supervision.
You need a license to listen to it.
And a license to dance as well.
A license to dance?
All body movements in the presence of music must be movements approved by the music police. On stuffed shirtica, it's high treason to play or listen to music or to dance without the permission of the music police. Come along, metronome. There's nothing we can do with a person like Ms. Flute. Not yet, anyway.
Ugh, what a dreadful man.
We heard. I'm Mary Farfisa, and this is Briscoe. Are you Miss Flute?
Oh, you're the audio wrangler, yes. I'm Miss Flute. I'm a teacher here.
My first guess would be that you teach woodwinds, but I have a feeling I'd be wrong about that.
You would be. I teach drums.
You do?
You don't expect Mr. Drum to teach it now, do you? Don't hit me, don't hit me. What a wuss.
He's a peaceful soul.
Well, so am I. But music needs a heartbeat after all, a fierce heartbeat.
Do I detect the scent of a skunk mustache fan?
Best band in the universe, man.
I have a friend who, well, I know someone who's a skunky.
Yeah, skunk mustache is fantastic. Since I'm a flute, people expect me to be all melodic, pretty and delicate. But that's not my thing. And besides, I'm allergic to being played. If someone tries to play a flute solo on me, I start sneezing and I ruin the whole performance. That's why I took up playing the drums. Sure, my arms are all small and skinny, but I can still rock out when I want to. I've got a tiny set of drums attached to a huge speaker system. I can rattle the whole school when I do a drum solo.
Briscoe, all this talk about the music police is making me upset.
Me too, Mary.
Let's go find the auditorium and get to work.
Good idea. Any idea where the auditorium is?
No idea. But there are 2 music students over there. Let's ask them.
Sure, we know where the old auditorium is. Come on, we'll take you there.
Who is this girl in the big helmet? And why is she going to the old auditorium with a space horse?
Don't you know who she is? That's the famous Mary Farfisa.
Mary Farfisa?
Mary Farfisa. She's an audio wrangler. She's able to catch all sorts of sounds in her audio lasso, even if the sound was made a gabillion years ago. She's even captured sounds made by the dinosaurs of Dobble-Wobby, way back in prehistoric times. She travels through space on her space horse Briscoe, looking for songs and sounds and music and noise to share with all the planets in the universe.
What's she doing at our music school?
Chartreuse Pinkley played a recital here before she was famous. Nobody recorded it because they didn't know that one day people would come from all over the galaxies just to hear Chartreuse Pinkley play the Bazorbabillion bassoon. Mary Farfisa thinks the performance is still in the old auditorium, and she wants to catch it with her audio lasso.
How do you know all this?
She wrote about it in her Spacebook page.
Oh,
Mary Farfisa, would it be okay if we watched you look for the recital?
Sure, I guess so. But you'll have to be really quiet.
We will.
wow! This auditorium is huge.
That performance we're looking for will have lots of places to hide. On the plus side, though, it will give us plenty of room to maneuver when the chase begins.
What's Mary Farfisa doing?
She's getting out her audio lasso.
That long rope with the loop at the end of it?
Yes, when she sees a sound she wants to catch, she'll throw her lasso and catch the sound in that loop. That's what audio wrangling is.
And what happens to the sound when she catches it?
See how the other end of the lasso is attached to Briscoe's saddlebag? Every sound Mary catches flows through her lasso and down into Briscoe's saddlebag. Then Briscoe has the sound. He calms it down and cleans it up and reassembles it so everyone can hear what the sound sounds like.
Okay, but how does Mary Farfisa see the sounds in order to chase them? You can't see sounds!
It's something very few people in the universe can do, but she's a natural at it. She sees the sounds by listening very, very hard with the lasso.
Wow!
See how she has the lasso spinning very slowly above her and Briscoe? She's listening for the sounds of that performance and trying to separate it from all the other sounds that have ever been made in the auditorium.
And then she can see it?
Yep.
This is going to be a challenge, Briscoe.
A lot of sounds have been made in this auditorium.
Yes, and the great performances are notoriously shy.
I think we're in for a long night.
Time to wake up, you two.
What? Mary Farfisa, I guess we fell asleep.
It took us all night to round up that performance. No wonder you dozed off.
But you got it?
Sure did. It was very shy and very fast, too. But we got it. Briscoe's already working on it. He's polishing it up and dusting it off and getting it ready to share with the universe.
Cool. Where did he go?
Oh, he's in another part of the school. He didn't want any interference from the music police while he worked on it.
Congratulations, Mary, you caught the recital.
Thanks, Miss Flute.
Chartreuse Pinkley was still learning, and there were some rough spots in the performance, but you could still hear something special in her playing. It was wonderful.
Wonderful? The metronome had to stick his fingers in his ears before we heard half of it. He's still trying to pull them back out again, poor devil. On stuffed Shirtica, we'd have locked her up for that recital.
Well, we already sent it to the listeners' library, and they've been broadcasting it all over the galaxies, and everyone loves it.
The Chartreuse Pinkley recital just made this planet famous. And Bubbleopala won't ban something the rest of the galaxy loves us for. I don't think my planet will be putting the music police in charge of music here.
Maybe not today, Miss Flute.
Maybe not ever, Inspector Strict.
Let's see if I can play that sonata on Steinway. It will be hard to play it with hooves, but here goes. You turn the pages for me, Mary.
Briscoe, that Inspector Inspector Strict made me so mad. Jane Syrah was right to force the people on Stuffed Shirtica to listen to Skunk Mustache albums.
Mary, have you been in touch with Jane Syrah since we saw her with Handyman How?
Oh, Briscoe. Yes. I saw her when I was in timeout. And I let her go back into space with the toolbox when timeout was over, without telling you or Handyman How that I had seen her.
Why, Mary?
Because she said she was using the toolbox to find out where she came from. And it seemed so important to her, and she thought that maybe Handyman How was trying to keep her from finding out where she was from. But if that's true, it's still up to her, isn't it? If she wants to know?
Yes, I suppose it is.
I was afraid to tell you because maybe I did the wrong thing. Are you mad at me for not saying anything, Briscoe? Did I do the wrong thing?
You followed your heart, Mary. That's always the right thing. Unless, of course, it was the wrong thing. Or it could have been the wrong thing for the right reason. On the other hoof, maybe it was the wrong thing, but everything will turn out all right. Unless it was the right thing to do, but something still goes wrong. Or...
Briscoe, I don't think you're making any sense.
Oh, what do you expect? I'm a space horse, not Socrates. Anyway, Mary, I try to look after you, but I'm not here to judge your decisions. I'm here to support you in whatever you decide to do.
Thanks, Briscoe.
Ready to go back to outer space?
Yes.
How about we jam out with some Skunk Mustache on the way?
Definitely.
You've been listening to The Music Police. Today's episode of Mary Farfisa's Outer Space Radio Theater, written and produced by Jim Sheff. Mary Farfisa was played by Kara Albach. Briscoe the Space Horse was played by Jim Sheff. Bill Culbertson played an amazing 3 roles today. He was Inspector Strict, Mr. Piano, and Mr. Drum. Chris Culbertson and Katie King played the music students, and April Stalder played Miss Flute.
Mary Farfisa and today's Mary Farfisa's Outer Space Radio Theater Adventure are copyright 2017 by Jim Sheff, all rights reserved.